slight or a bit of detail on a really important part of the discounter model being the control that a business like Aldi would have on its operating cost base. So its overheads, store operating costs, logistics, head office costs. Could you bring that to life for us a little bit? If you have any benchmarks off the top of your head, that's really interesting, or just for a feel of how tight cost management is and what sort of cultural philosophy underpins that.
Um, I would say that in a discounter, costs are of the highest importance, actually even higher than sales. And that's really quite a dramatic statement for anybody that calls themselves a retailer. So it's costs first is the mantra, and what that means is that the business has to find a way to bring its management into the industry in a very specific way so that costs mean something. And the Aldi philosophy, which was incredibly successful, was actually to forego experience, but just get extremely bright people. So it went to the universities. It focused on the universities with the highest entry requirements in terms of educational results. And it looked for the maths, business studies, or anything commercial type topics, and looked for the very best candidates. Now, these candidates were also the targets for most of the merchant banks and for some of the really big worldwide businesses like Procter & Gamble or Mars. So you're in tight competition for these people. And the key when you're starting is sheer economics. You actually have to make an offer which is better than Goldman Sachs would offer. And this is the philosophy of the business. It pays double the starting rate for, and I mean double, not a few percent more, 100% more as a starting rate for a graduate leaving with excellent results. And it has all kinds of guarantees about early responsibility, which is also a very big attractor to these kind of people. And then you put them through a very professional, tough, but very professional program where they learn what costs really means. And you've got to remember that Aldi is a very specific business. It does basically one thing. It runs Aldi stores. And Aldi stores are around the world pretty much identical in size, pretty much identical in terms of what it costs to build the building, pretty much identical in what sales per square meter it's expecting, and pretty much identical in terms of what costs it's doing. And the whole thing is run on a league table type basis. And it's hugely competitive. When you get your results as a business manager within the company, they are compared with everybody else doing a very similar job in a very similar environment. And you do not want to be in the bottom 25%. You just don't, because the kind of people are very competitive. The whole company is set up on that kind of basis. And you want to be in the top 25% of performers, and costs are measured first. And this is the philosophy. So after only a few years, most Aldi management can tell you exactly how long it will take to clean a store in minutes, how long it will take to merchandise a pallet, how long it will take to unload a truck, how long it will take to process 100 customers through the cash registers. And there are prizes given for people who can invent a small change to the business process that will quicken something up, even if it's only a few seconds, because that few seconds is multiplied by thousands of stores and hundreds of days per year. And the final bill for this super little idea is often worth an astronomical amount of money in terms of cost reduction. That's the philosophy for which the business is built on. A nice little example. If you pick up a product, I don't have one in front of me, but if you pick up a product and you show it to a normal food retailer, he will look at the colors. He will look at the messages that the product has on it. He will look at how beautiful this item is, and he's thinking how many of those guys can sell. I tell you, you put this product in front of any Aldi operating manager, and the first thing you look at is how big is the barcode? Because if that doesn't scan with one sweep of the arm across the cash register, that's going to cost me money. And that's just one of 1,000 examples I could give you of how this cost mentality is built in from day one.
Paul, in terms of what that translates to in terms of benchmarking for logistics costs, store operating costs versus a mainstream retailer, are there some patterns that have emerged that with any degree of consistency that you could share with us?
On average, if you just take the store operational expense, which is pretty much the biggest expense any food retailer has, it's half as a percentage of sales. It's half what a general supermarket would, and a well-run general supermarket. Well-run general supermarket needs 8% of its sales to run its business at store level, and an Aldi store can run for 4. I mean, that's 4 percentage difference. There's a whole host of other differences across the business, but that's the biggest single one, the labor productivity. And that comes from a culture of understanding how long every single task takes. Are you meeting those targets? And how can you improve so that you are even further ahead of the competition?